This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, Miss Peanut and I are here to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less, so let's get started. First, I just want to say, guys, it's great to be back. I have missed you so very much, and today is 9/11, and so let's start out with some good news. I reported that I was going to an evangelical event over the weekend where we invited 40 youth and their parents to a horse clinic this past weekend, and 17 had become one of my favorite numbers. Well, it's really one of my favorite numbers now because 17 people were saved at this clinic over the weekend, guys. And of course, the glory goes to the Lord above. And I was just happy to have been a part of it and to have been used to help share God's message of salvation. And now there's going to be 17 more people in heaven. So thank you, Jesus. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Now, it looks like I've missed some things being away, like President Trump firing John Bolton, his national security advisor. Well, Bolton, he didn't want peace in Afghanistan. He didn't want peace, period. And he has butted heads with our president on many issues since he's a globalist. And President Trump, well, he's been keeping his friends close and his enemies closer to know what they're doing. Well, I guess he figured out John Bolton's plans and then he showed him the door. So good for you, President Trump. Now, Lindsey Graham, he went on Fox with Brett Baer to talk about who might replace John Bolton. And Lindsey mentions first General Kellogg, the National Security Advisor to VP Pence. And he said he's got the 3 C's. He's competent, capable, and confident. And Lindsey likes him a lot. Second, there's Brian Hooks from the State Department. He was part of the Iran team, and he's close to Mike Pompeo. And good old Mike Pompeo, in my opinion, he's a true patriot, y'all. And then lastly, he said Rick Waddell, who worked for McMaster and knows the ins and outs of the Security Council. Now, there are others on the list, and what they're looking for, according to Lindsey, is someone who can work with Mike Pompeo, the Department of Defense, and can tell the president the truth. Guys, it was a great video, and I'll link it. Now, I found this tweet from the Bradford File, and it goes like this. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Democrats are so far gone, they believe their own rhetoric. They'll continue to sound more insane because they are. Trump's 2020 landslide win changes everything. He's saving America, folks! Exclamation point. Don't you just love that? Well, guys, that's exactly what our president's doing. He's lining everything up, and this is war, so the timing has to be right, but it's all going to work out. Now, September the 11th, 9/11. That's one of those 17 scandals we've been talking about. And now, guys, we may never know the whole story, but I believe a lot of the truth will come out about 9/11. Now, what we should never forget is that 2,977 people lost their lives that day, along with 23 police officers, 343 firefighters, and 37 Port Authority police officers. That was so, so sad. But the good news is that 25,000 people were saved that day 18 years ago, and I'm sure everyone listening can remember exactly where they were when that tragedy struck. Guys, I was in a classroom teaching, and we had an announcement come on the overcom, and we were told to turn on our televisions, and it was just devastating. But, it was tragic, and I still ask myself, though, why did those buildings collapse? It's just awful, guys. So, hopefully, one day we will know, and I'll link a Fox video remembering the heroes of 9/11. You might want to check that out. Now, moving on to stocks, which have been going up the past 6 days. The Dow is close to 27,000 points, and by the time you're watching this, well, it could have already surpassed that number, but Fox had billionaire investor Ken Fisher on, and he said he's not overly optimistic about the market in the next 6 months. Because a lot of people are bashing the president. Of course, they've been doing that since day one. Anyway, he says that, and uncertainty comes out of that, which makes the market move forward, but hesitatingly. But as we get closer to just having one Democrat running for president, the uncertainty dies down and the market goes up. But it's going to be choppy the next 6 months, according to Ken. Then Ken moves to Kim Jong-un and says that there is no reason for North Korea to exist the way it does. This whole country has less paved road miles than a small town in America. This is a very poor place, guys, which is just very, very sad. But we know that 17 told us that the C_A was pulling Kim Jong-un's strings, and those strings have been cut. And now Kim's just trying to see if he can trust our president. Now, when he figures that out, we will make a deal, and North Korea, well, they will flourish. And it's going to happen, guys. Well, then it was brought up that George Soros, Mr. New World Order himself, praised President Trump for his stance with China. And he warned him not to cave on Huawei, which I know our president will not cave, but this just makes me very suspicious, and I'll try to look into this further, and I'll leave you a link. Now, guys, I missed Trump's rally the other night, but I saw where Diamond and Silk were there, and they were talking about our wonderful president, and then they said the reason they want to impeach him is because they know they can't defeat him or beat him. So, you go, ladies. You are absolutely right. Then, Sidney Powell, she went on Hannity last night, and Judge Janine, she was also there, and I'll link the Gateway Pundit article where there's the video, and it talks about the meeting with General Flynn and Judge Sullivan. Well, Comey had an ambush interview with General Flynn and didn't disclose that to the defense, and this was just part of the exculpatory evidence that was withheld by the government. Now, Sidney says that the prosecution of General Flynn should be dismissed because of government misconduct and the stunning Brady violations from the beginning of their tenure as special counsel to now. And they are still withholding evidence, including the January 30th memo. This is awful, guys. Now, Mueller, he got a letter from Rod Rosenstein allowing him to target Michael Flynn Jr. So, Flynn's gone bankrupt, he's lost his home, and now the deep state, they're coming after his child. So, Flynn, he was completely pressured into entering that guilty plea. So, she wants it all to be dismissed, as it should be, and Sidney said to stay tuned. It's all coming out, folks. So, in my opinion, the hunters will now become the hunted. This is Mueller's team. Andrew Weissman, Rod Rosenstein, Mueller, and let's not forget about good old Jim Comey. Now, the court, they'll be back in session on October 31st, so I'll keep you posted. Well, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Please share my content. It's free. And until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.